Welcome to Barron's Roundtable, where we get behind the headlines and prepare you for the week ahead. I'm Jack Otter. Coming up, fresh economic data is moving the markets and boosting hopes for a June rate cut from the Fed. Investment strategist Greg Peters shares his expectations on what it means for U.S. growth. Then, General Electric was a mess when its CEO took over in 2018, but breaking up the business seems to be the key to the company's newfound success. And later, a shakeup in the obesity drug market as Viking Therapeutics stock doubles on a positive trial. But first, we begin with our expert panel and three things investors ought to be thinking about right now. On the Barron's Roundtable, my colleagues Ben Levison, Al Root, and Megan Leonhardt. So, Ben, most of the week was kind of boring in the stock market, but then quietly, the S&P creeped up, hit a new high. The NASDAQ hit its first new high since, I think, 2021.
That's right. And the S&P 500 is now up for 16 of the last 18 weeks.
Wow.
It hasn't happened since 1971, so I wasn't even alive yet. But it was an interesting week because we did get this inflation number from the PCE report that was, it wasn't hot, but it wasn't cool either. And the market seemed to brush that off. The GDP number was revised down a little bit, but not enough to worry people. And it looks like first quarter GDP is running at about 3%. So the economy is doing fine, and we have to see that inflation come in. But right now, people just don't seem worried, and the market just keeps ticking up.
Interesting part of the market is the Russell 2000. We don't talk about it a lot, partly because it's been so awful for so many years, but small caps catching a bid. The equal weighted index doing well. Is this sustainable?
I think it is. I mean, I think what we've seen is that you've had these mega cap stocks and they've done really well. And now people are thinking, you know what, I can take some off the table here. And so you're seeing things like Apple. Apple's not having a good year so far. Google or Alphabet, it's not doing much. But you have other stocks that are starting to get involved in this rally. And I think that's really a good thing for the market, and it's a good thing for investors who are looking for other stuff.
Yeah, much needed. What are you looking at in the week ahead?
Well, we got to talk about Dune, of course. I mean, it says Warner Brothers second, the sequel to the first one. It looks like it's going to be a big hit. The movie theaters need it to be one. But seriously, I think it's going to be the payrolls report. It can't be too hot. That's going to freak out the Fed, and we're going to be watching wages closely. If that comes in hot, that's going to be a problem too.
You also have to keep in mind that this report's really critical, and all of the February reports are going to be critical because we did see a lot of noise in those January reports. So the next round really needs to be a little bit more make it or break it to determine whether January was a one-off or we do have some trends that we really need to keep our eye on.
That Friday morning is always exciting. You mentioned Apple. Al, let's talk about the not going to happen Apple car. I think the most succinct summation of the auto industry's response was 2 emojis in a tweet from Elon Musk.
Yep. I feel somewhat vindicated. It didn't make sense. It never made sense. We've been talking about an Apple car for almost 10 years.
But you said many years ago, this is a crazy idea.
Now, it's obvious why Apple would look at it. Auto's $2 trillion industry. It's a large addressable market, but it's not a very good business. Apple makes 30% operating profit margins. Toyota makes 10%. Tesla last year did 9%. Apple has 25% market share of the phone business. Toyota has 12% of the global car market. It is more competitive, more capital intensive, and more regulated. It's just not a very good business. So now that Apple can focus on things like AI, they said, forget this car.
More good news for Tesla when the Biden administration announced it was looking into Chinese cars as a possible national security risk.
Right. So what this really represents for me is it's another barrier that Chinese automakers will have to hop over to bring their cars to the U.S. There's already a 25% tariff on imports. You really need to build capacity here to sell cars here. So that's a barrier for the Chinese. It takes years to do. And then now Biden is going to look at the national security implications of some of their cars. So it means for Ford and General Motors, they have time. They have time to get ready to compete with the Chinese.
We saw the BYD supercar on the screen there, Al. You're not going to get that now. You have to settle for a Lamborghini.
The crazy thing about that is if you're an independent company, Ferrari, Porsche, $160 billion market cap. But if you're a mass market automaker that makes expensive cars, Ford, GM, Volkswagen, basically the same market cap. So if you're independent, great. If you're a mass market automaker like BYD that tries it, terrible.
And whether you have a cool car or not, Megan, I've learned that from you that younger people are abandoning dating apps. Well, what are they doing? Going to a bar to meet people or something?
Amazing theory, right? It feels like it worked for our parents and our grandparents. Maybe we might bring that back. But no, seriously, we had Bumble coming up with its earnings earlier this week, and it wasn't a good one for many, many reasons. But there are structural issues that dating apps and places like Match.com and Match Group are actually dealing with at the moment. So we have these issues where, 8 out of 10 college students have no appetite for a dating app, and they're not currently on it. That's a big headwind for these folks. And of course, Bumble did actually come in and they, missed revenue. Their outlook didn't look great. So, a lot of folks are saying, this is not just the issue with Gen Z, but it certainly isn't helping the situation.
Anything these companies can do to find a new line of business or tweak what they're doing?
I think, it was interesting. We actually heard from the new CEO of Bumble. And she was pretty candid for her first, time out with the earnings call. She did say that, not only are we going to have to use some of the traditional metrics, and Bumble is coming out with a new app so that they'll have a nice refresh look, but they're also going to sit there and try organic methods. So, reading between the lines, that means in person. And certainly we sort of see that a lot of folks are actually sort of experimenting with this. We've seen some speed dating events coming up. So if you're in the New York area and you are interested, it does look like it is a possibility.
Organic dating. Sounds good to me.